Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mokli. Good morning, everyone. Okay, can we start? Okay, so let me share my screen first of all. Can you see my screen? Can you please confirm? I think hope it is visible to everyone. Okay. So, so yesterday we have actually created the booking API. We have actually created the booking DTO and booking entity, booking status, and all these kind of things. Okay. So let's do one thing from our side. Okay. So what I need to do. So first of all, we just have to prepare the JSON data, correct? So if you just go to this booking DTO, I just wanted to create a I just wanted to create a JSON request for this particular data. Okay, so what I can do, I can just go over here. So since booking DTO is a class, right? A class is a block, right? So for this particular class, I need to create a JSON. So JSON is an object and booking DTO also is an object, right? So it's a class. When we create an object, it becomes an object. So I just wanted to create a block because that is a class. And what are all the properties are there? So user ID. So JSON is a combination of key and value pairs. Key is the property name and the value is the user provided value. So here I just wanted to say Srinivas 0908. And then what is the next property? Movie ID. I just wanted to select this. And then, so since movie ID is an integer, so I don't have to give anything like that. So if you just go to the Book My Show, if I just go to the Book My Show app, so here when I click on this particular right now you see the URL over here. So this is bookmyshow.com. So when I click on this movie, it actually has the movie ID. Okay, and if you go back and click on something else, right, so this one, so it has a movie ID. Okay, so each and every movie will be having an ID, but that means movie ID is a primary key where it will contain all these values. Okay, so now what I just wanted to do, I just wanted to go and provide the movie ID as 312897. That's the only thing, and then probably seat selected. So this is the list of string, right? So how we can display the list because an object can be represented with open brace and closed brace, but seed selected, we can give it as an array. And here we can give A10, A11, A12. That's it. And what is the other thing? Show date. So show date. So you can give it as a string. It will convert that into a local date. So local date was introduced from Java 1.8 version. So since it was there from Java 1.8, you can see this one. So here they have given some values. Can you see this? You can also give like this 2nd October 2007, or you can also give like this year, month, and the date. Okay, so I just wanted to follow the same approach. So 2023, I just wanted to book a ticket today. Just kidding. So here I just wanted to say 06, and then the show time. And here I just wanted to give the show time as. So let's see that show time. So local time, right? So I just wanted to give 10 a.m. and booking amount. So booking amount is, so this is the number, right? Again, so here let's, for each and every ticket, I just wanted to pay 250. So totally 750 rupees. So 750.o, or we can give 750 also. Okay. So now our data is prepared. Now what we can do, we can just start our application and go inside this one. I just wanted to keep, you know, I just wanted to keep SLF4J. I don't want it to use, system.out.println instead of that. So this is SLF4J is basically from Lombok. So what we can do, we can actually use the log variable directly. We don't have to create any logger factories, something like that. If you just add Lombok as a dependency in your prompt XML, this annotation will be enabled by default, and you can use logging framework inside your application on the go. So I just wanted to log this application. So I just wanted to log only the booking DTO for now. So I just wanted to go to the booking DTO, and here, what is the error? Yeah, booking DTO dot to string. That's it. And now booking DTO itself has a toString, right? So I think that's right. Okay, so probably we need to enable the annotation processing, then only it will work. I'll tell you what happens now. So if I just go to this booking API handler, so there is method argument not valid exception, and I just wanted to log the message over here. Okay, I just wanted to keep a debugging point over here. I just wanted to keep a debugging point over here, and let's see, and let's start the application now. Yeah. No, Murli, what I was trying to say, I'll tell you what happens now. Let me debug this application now, and I hope everything is good. Bookings, that's it. I just wanted to debug this application. So let's start the application now. And I just wanted to copy this and go to the Postman. So here, so this is 9090, not 8080, because if you just see this application.yaml, the server port has been given as 9090 for the booking services especially. And here, I just wanted to click on send. Hey, this is not even coming to the controller or the advice, right? So probably what we can do, we can just go to this and add @valid before this one. And if you just go to the booking DTO, add @validated. So then only this validation will happen. Okay. And now I just wanted to stop this application and run this application again in debug mode. And let's see what happens now. Good. Submit this again. This is not even coming now. This is bad request. So what is happening? It is not even throwing any exceptions over here. The problem is, I understood. So here, the local time, let me see the local time. What is the format that they have given? Okay, they have given actually as this. So I can give, so this is the problem. Okay, if you give 22, that means 10 p.m. If you give 10, then probably it is 10 a.m. So I don't have to give a.m. or p.m. Okay, so based on the 24-hour format, it will understand. Okay, so now if I just wanted to hit this, and now see what happens. Internal server error. Okay, so now we will see what is happening now. I'll just expand this. Let's see the error. Okay, so no validator could be found for constant not blank. So let me see why it is not working first of all. So if I just go to this booking DTO, so this is on local date. So yeah, see, dates cannot be blank, right? That means dates cannot be empty, right? So I just wanted to say this as not null instead of not blank. So that is the wrong usage. Okay. And please provide a movie ID. And also integer can be null, right? Integer can be null because it is a class, it's not int, right? So I can just use not null. That means message. Please provide a movie ID. Please provide a valid movie ID. Or we can say it as movie ID is mandatory. Just to differentiate. And also the same kind of thing over here. User ID is mandatory. And it cannot be empty also, right? So let me add one more annotation. So instead of using not null or not empty, we can use not blank. So this is possible for a string. So user ID is mandatory. Okay. And for this, not blank is, yeah, not blank is fine for this because it cannot be empty or it can, it has to contain at least one seed. And select show time, data, and positive, and positive, and positive, and positive. So here, booking amount. See, we don't have a UI for this, right? So that's the reason we need to do all these validations for testing our API. Okay, so that's the only purpose of these validations. Just stop this application and rerun this application again. Okay, in debug mode. And let's see whether we are going to hit the API or not, because the API will not get hit because it is actually annotated with @valid, and booking DTO, it has been annotated with @validated. So what it will do, so for all this kind of annotations, whatever the annotations that are being used, that means if I just go to this, yeah. So if you see this, all these are Jakarta validation constants. So for all these annotations, if the data is not valid, that means even this is blank or this is not null. That means if this is null, then probably we will be getting the method argument not valid exception. Okay, so this exception controller will be called, and this API will never be called unless the booking DTO is having the valid details. Okay, so I just wanted to go to the Postman and I just wanted to hit send. So now if you see that still it is giving 500 error, and see why it is happening. And if you see this, no validator could be found for not blank. This is for list, yes, because if you see this list, just go to this one. Just go to this booking DTO. So here probably you can add @not null, because list can be null and empty also, right? List can be null or empty also here. So here you can also use not empty, but not required. But we can just go with this. And I just wanted to stop and restart the application again in debug mode. Now, I think everything should work now as expected. Yeah, let it start. Yes, it started. Now I just wanted to hit this. So now if you can see that our request was valid and it is coming to this particular data and it is logging it. If you see the console, so this is the booking details with that we have actually sent. User ID, selected seats, show date, show time, and the booking amount. But what happens if I just wanted to remove this user ID first of all? Okay, so now it will go to the exception handler directly. Can you see this? So if you see this exception, so what is the exception that you got? So it came to the booking API handler. It has not hit the API controller. Okay, so if you just see here, you have this binding result, you have this errors, and if you see this errors, there's something called a default message. User ID is mandatory. Okay, so let me bypass this. And I just wanted to give user ID as blank. Okay, so right now this is empty. But right now, if you see that booking DTO has not blank, that means if it is empty or if it is containing any white space. Okay, let's see this one and let's see what is happening over here. So now again, we have got the same error. See here, errors, user ID is mandatory. Okay, so now I just wanted to bypass through this. Yeah, now everything is done. Now I just wanted to give a space inside this. Okay, so now send this one. Now, can you see this? Again, it is actually saying user ID is mandatory. So if I just give a valid ID, then bypass this and then click on send. And now it came to the booking API. So that's the valid request that we have given. Okay, so that's the advantage of using @not blank. So not blank, what it will show. So @not blank has to be used only on top of string because it can be empty or containing white space or it can be null. So all these validations will be done by @not blank. And then @not null means if this property is not there, let's say I just wanted to validate this one. So let me bypass this. Bypass this means I just wanted to print that and exit our job. So now I just wanted to go to this movie ID and I just wanted to remove this movie ID and I just wanted to click on submit. So now if you see this, movie ID is mandatory. Okay. So now I just wanted to bypass this. Now if I just, yeah. And now what we can do, can we pass this one null? So let's see, this is a null value. Now what we can do, we can just hit this and now movie ID is mandatory. Again, the same exception, right? Now, if I just wanted to give movie ID as 0, okay. Now let's hit what will happen. Can you see this? Please provide a valid movie ID because this has been annotated with @positive. So it has to be a positive integer. Okay. So it has to be greater than 0. Got it? So that's the total idea. So that's all. So now what we can do, we can just perform with our existing functionalities. So I just wanted to stop this application and minimize this console. And I just wanted to go to this booking API. And I just wanted to use a private booking service @AutoWide. I don't want this now. Yes, Giridhar.
Hello, sir. Means
Yeah.
through using this valid and validator, can we means okay? Can we send the response? Okay. Enforcement we send okay. This field is mandatory. This field is mandatory. This is
Yeah. Because if you see this, we have not written any code inside this handler. Just we are logging it.
okay. Okay.
We have to return that, but we will see. Not right now. We will see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Okay. So I'll just go to this API, and here I just wanted to use this. So here, what we can do, log.info. So enter into booking API with request data, booking detail. That's it. Okay. So now the next thing what we need to do. So here this dot booking service dot create booking, and I just wanted to pass the booking video. That's it. Okay. Now I just wanted to go to this booking service MPL. So here I just wanted to use private booking repository. That's it. And I just wanted to annotate this with @AutoWide. And again, I just have to use a logger, because loggers are really required, because when you get some exception inside a service, log files will be generated. Right now, we are not generating any log files for this logging statements, but we will see that later, not now. Okay. So log.info again, and here entered into booking service IMPL. And also I will try to, explain all this kind of, automated way of having these loggers. But right now we'll just keep it as a static one. That means static means we just have to write this loggers with our hands. That's it. Okay. So now entered into booking service IMPL, create booking method with request data as booking detail. Okay. And then probably what we can do. So here, this is a booking repository, right? So booking repository can accept only the booking entity, not the booking DTO. So if you just have to insert the booking entity inside the database. So right now we are actually receiving the booking DTO, right? So probably what we can do. So booking entity equal to new booking entity. And here booking entity dot set. You don't have to set the booking ID, because booking ID will be automatically, set by the @ID and generated value annotations only. So here I just wanted to set the movie ID. So movie ID, where we will be getting it? We will be getting it from the booking DTO.get movie ID, and then booking entity dot set booking amount. So here booking DTO dot get booking amount, booking entity dot again set the booking status. So here booking status we need to send. So booking status dot pending. Until unless the payment is done, we will not be able to say this as booking status as confirmed. Okay, so booking entity dot set show date. So booking DTO dot get show date, and booking entity dot set show time So booking DTO dot get showtime. These are all the fields: movie ID, booking amount, booking status, show date, show time, and what are all the other fields do we do have? Seats selected, right? So booking entity dot set seats selected. So booking DTO dot get seats selected. So every time we are actually doing this, right? So we are actually creating an object. We are actually using this booking DTO. That means we are actually converting this booking DTO to the booking entity, because booking entity is only the entity which can be saved inside the database. That means if I use the booking repository, I cannot save this booking DTO. Let's see this dot booking repository dot save. So here, can you see this? Save method is actually expecting entity. That means the Pojo classes which are actually annotated with the entity at the rate entity annotation, those will be only allowed. If I just pass booking DTO, it will not accept. Okay. So it accepts only the booking entity which is annotated with at the rate entity. That's it. Very simple. Got it? So that's the total idea. Now, what we can just do. So since we have saved this booking entity, let's see what happens now. Okay. So now what we can do, we just wanted to debug this application now and keep a debugging point over here. I just wanted to go to this. And let me see whether the application is getting started or not. Okay, it has started. And now what I can just simply do, clear all. Now I just wanted to submit the data. And now we have got the data. So again, so what is this method valid not? Okay, so we are sending the movie ID as wrong ID, right? So we just have to handle this one as well, first of all, before saving the data. So here, what I need to do, so log dot info entered into booking API handler plus exception. What is the exception? So the exception name is exception dot get message. Okay, so this is a simple statement. So here what we can do, we can actually go to this DTOs and we can actually develop one class, response DTO. Okay, so response DTO we are using. So inside this response DTO, what I can simply do, I can just add private string developer message, private string error message, and then private booking DTO. That's it. Okay. So this is the response. Okay. So if we are going to get any issue, then probably, developer message and the error message, or probably first we will remove this developer message. We'll see that later, but not right now. I just wanted to add this at the rate data, at the rate allux, at the rate noux. And also, so if you see this booking DTO, so we have not added any builder, but if you see this one, booking service IPL, so we don't have to do all this kind of steps. Booking entity dot set, booking entity dot set, booking entity dot set, booking entity or dot set. Okay. So the alternative way for this one, if you just go to the booking entity and if you just add at the rate builder. Okay. So let's see the magic now, how it happens. So here I just wanted to alternative with builder. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, so I don't have to create an object for booking entity. So there is something called a builder, and here I just wanted to call this, movie ID. I can just get it from this one. See here how easy this is. Booking amount. I can just use like this. This is a cleaner way, right? And booking status. I can just use this. And here, I just wanted to use show date. Dot get show date. Show time. Booking DTO dot get show time. Dot seats selected. Booking DTO dot get seat selected. That's it. And you need to do a build. That's all you need to do. And this will return the booking entity in return. Okay, so now what you can simply do, you can just save this booking entity directly. And here, instead of having all this kind of stuff, I can remove this and keep the same with builder. That's it. This looks cleaner, right? We don't have to say booking entity dot set movie ID, booking entity dot set booking amount, booking entity dot booking status. We don't have to do all these kind of things if you do have @builder annotation, which is basically used to convert from one entity to another DTO and another DTO to entity again. So we can do all that kind of stuff simply like that. Okay. So now I just wanted to go to this booking API handler. And here, what I need to do. So here we are getting the exception, right? So let's see what happens over this. So here exception dot get message. That means no message. There is something called get binding result. And here I can just use get errors. Okay, so let me see what will happen if I say get all errors. Okay, so I just wanted to, so what is the return type for this? It's an object error, list of object error. Okay. And I can simply dot info just for seeing the errors. What is the, so what we can return. Okay, so errors dot string. Okay, so now I just wanted to debug this application at again, and I just wanted to remove this. I just wanted to make sure that movie ID is 0. I think we can do this. Good morning, Rajesh. Good morning. Okay, so now we have started it. So let's send this data, and now it has entered. Now we will see what kind of response we can actually send that to this one. So get binding results. So we have done the same thing, and there is something called errors. That means this is a get all errors, I guess, right? So here, get all errors, and there's a default message, please provide a movie ID. So here, let's see what is the issue that we are going to get over here. And this error is exactly the same. So this is a collection, and we do have this. And here we have the default message, right? So here, if I just do errors dot get off 0 dot get off default message. Yeah, so this is what we need to do. Okay, so now what I can simply do over here, first of all, so as this is errors, right? So completely, I just wanted to stop this application. So for now, I don't want to use for each directly with the streams. So here, I just wanted to make sure that errors. So this is an object error, right? So object error, type error. And here, since we have got the errors, so what we can do, we can actually prepare this response DTO. So response DTO dot builder. Okay, so here before this, response DTO dot builder. Okay, there is no builder. Okay, I have not placed it. Okay, sorry for that. So response DTO dot builder dot build. Response DTO, response DTO. So here response DTO dot. See here we are getting the same data. So here what I can do for now. Yeah. So dot error message. So errors dot stream dot map object error and here, yeah, I can use a new, and then here I can use a map. So here, sorry for that. So here probably I have not said that errors dot get of 0. So probably we'll just return this for now. Yeah, error message. And I think this will be fine. And now I think we can return this response DTO directly. Return response DTO, and here response DTO. So here, what is the kind of request that we are going to get? It's a bad request, right? So instead of returning this directly from here, what we can do, and just copy this response DTO, and here return new response entity. And here I just wanted to give the response DTO, and the body is response DTO. And since it is a bad request, right? So HTTP status dot bad request, because the request is itself is not valid. Okay. So now I can just say response entity of response DTO. That's it. Very simple. And now I will just debug this application, and let's see whether we are going to get this response or not. If the request is itself is not valid, it does not has to go to the controller first. It has to enter into the booking API handler. If any of the booking DTO request is invalid. Okay, so let me test this application now. Okay, now hit the data. So because movie ID is not mandatory. So here I just wanted to go. Can you see this? Error message is please provide a valid movie ID. Okay. But here we can see the booking DTO. So let's do one thing. Okay. So there is something called, if you just go to this response DTO, so there is something called @JSON include, and there is something called include if it is not null. Okay. Now we are actually getting this not null. Why we need to show this data even to the end user, right? So let's stop the application, and rerun this application again. And now we'll just test the data again. So right now, I just wanted to provide a valid movie ID now. So 21098. And now I just wanted to remove this user ID, and let's see whether everything is working fine or not. Okay, I just have to bypass this. Good. User ID is mandatory. Okay. So let me not provide a movie ID first of all. Let me bypass this. Okay, movie ID is mandatory. Good. If I just give 0, bypass this. Please provide a valid movie ID. Very good. And then if I just, don't include the booking amount. Sorry. Don't give the booking amount. And now hit this one. Booking amount is mandatory. Okay, good. And now I just wanted to give 0. And everything works out. Got it? So now, just wanted to give 750. And now we will save this data. So now it has entered the controller first of all. Okay, so because the details are valid, now what it does, it will go step by step. And right now it is going to convert everything to the, okay. So here I'm not returning any data here. I'm just saving the entity. And if you see the console, see this one, it has inserted into the bookings, and let's see the bookings table. Very good. So if you see this, so this is a booking ID. So this is a UUID. But if you just wanted to see the UUID, I'll tell you how to see that UUID. Okay. So first of all, here why the user ID is set null over here? Because we have not set the user ID over here. Okay. So dot user ID, booking DTO dot get user ID. Okay. I just wanted to, what we can say. So just save it like this for now. And just clear this, stop this application, and rerun this application again. And before that, what I need to show to you, I just wanted to return the booking DTO again, because in the booking DTO, we have not kept the booking ID as well as the booking status, right? So I just wanted to keep a booking ID. And also the booking status. Because I need to show to the end user, right, what is the status and all these kind of things. So booking status. Okay. So now I just wanted to go to the service now. And here, I just wanted to return. So before that, booking DTO dot builder. So booking DTO builder is not there. Okay, yes. @builder. And here, builder dot the same operations over here. So here it has to be the booking entity. So because this entity is directly saved into the database, right? So booking entity. So here booking entity dot get booking status, and here booking entity and booking entity. So that's all. So I just wanted to return this data back to the user. And that's it. And here I just wanted to create a booking status, booking DTO. And I just wanted to go to this booking service and change that to booking DTO. And I just wanted to go to the handler, and I just wanted to make this as response DTO, right? This is a response DTO, right? So probably what I can do. Oh, sorry, not this one. Where is my API? Yeah. So here, I just wanted to return this directly, return this one. And instead of this one, what I can do, I have received the response DTO, right? And here, I just wanted to return new response entity and the response DTO. The body is response DTO, comma. HTTP status is created because we have created a backend resource, right? So that's the reason for this one. Okay. So response entity of response DTO. And here, what is this? This is a so let's go to this booking service IMPL. I have made a mistake. So here, this is a booking DTO only, but there is a response, right? We have prepared. So here, what we can do actually, so there is something called response DTO dot builder dot booking DTO. So I just wanted to paste everything inside this. That's it. Very, very simple. And then I just have to return this directly. Okay. And here I just wanted to keep this as response DTO. And that's it. And I just wanted to go to this. And I just wanted to change this to response DTO. And inside this booking service IMPL, no errors. And if I just go back to this, everything is working. Now we can just go to this one and see what is the problem over here. So response DTO dot builder. I think what is the problem here? Okay, so this is a booking DTO, right? So booking DTO. Oh, I didn't call dot build. So that's the total idea. Correct. So I just wanted to revert everything. And here, just wanted to say dot build. That's it. Very simple. Okay. So now everything is done. I just wanted to, start the application. And let's see what happens now. So let me change this data first of all. So I think probably we can just we'll see that later. Okay, now everything is started. I just wanted to go back to this. And there you go. Why we have not received the booking ID? So let me go to this. This is a problem. I need to set the booking ID also. So this is from booking entity directly dot get booking ID. Okay. So let me resend this again because we have not validated everything. So this is how it actually looks. 10 as 21 as 8. Okay. And now send this data. Okay, I have not restarted my application. Let me restart my application and submit this data again. Come on, Baba, start. Okay, let me do one thing. So here, let me drop this now for now. And let me restart the application again so that it is a fresh insert right again. So that's the total idea. And let's see the output. Good, 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 good. Now send this, and there you go. This is the response that we got. Okay. So booking DTO, that means this is a response DTO where we do have a booking DTO. And if I just wanted to send this, without user ID, sorry, seat selected, without seat selected, right? So I just wanted to remove this. You need to select at least one seat to create a booking. Okay, got it? So that's the total idea. I just wanted to remove this, and I just wanted to remove the booking amount. Okay, so I think this is a bad request. I need to remove this comma also and now submit it. Okay, so booking amount is mandatory. And there you go. And give the movie ID as 0. This is working fine. Remove the movie ID. Remove the movie ID directly. Movie ID is mandatory. Okay, movie ID, we are going to provide it. And it is going to insert the data. Very, very good. This is the UUID. I was saying this from the day one, right? So when we have started the mini project, so movie ID is really mandatory to actually recognize this particular booking ID in any of the microservices instead of using 1, 2, 3, or 4, something like that. Okay. So right now, yes, Girdhar sir.
Sorry, sir. So just one doubt. We are changing the output JSON based on this, our errors and exceptions. So
Right.
easy to okay to do like that. Okay. While developing any application, we will do some contract like for front end and back end. So this is our
Right.
response.
Right. Exactly.
So easy to okay to do that changes based on our our exceptions and like that.
See, anyhow, front end will be asking the data from the developers, right? So we need to give some standard structure to the front end people. According to that, they will prepare the responses in the front end. See how we are maintaining the response DTO models. Like that, same wise, they have to maintain the same structure in order to receive the data from the backend and show that on the UI.
Okay, so the front end people need to do like that. They need to maintain, right?
No, no. See, I will tell you. So if I'm using this structure, right? This is a response DTO structure, right?
Okay.
So they have to create the same data structure like this.
Okay.
Okay, they have to prepare the TypeScript class exactly like this, response DTO. The name can be anything, but here only the JSON properties matter. So here error message means they have to keep the property name exactly the same like this, error message and booking DTO. Or you can also say it as booking details. Okay, so now they have to create the same property names.
Okay.
And if you see this booking details, what is the type? Booking DTO, right?
Yes.
And they need to, so property name can be anything, but they can queue whatever the name that they want for this one. But if you see the data inside this, they have to create the same field names along with the property names also the same. Class name can be anything, but whatever the fields that we are going to show, see if you see this JSON, how this JSON response data is looking like. So they have to use the same like this. So if you see this booking DTO, booking ID, user ID, they need to use the same property names also even in the front end model classes.
Okay.
So we need to give the standard structure to them so that they can actually take that and work on that directly.
Okay. I got it. And one more thing is, okay.
Yeah.
So while we are getting any exception, we are sending one error message like, okay, this is mandatory. So
yeah, so right now we are actually sending only one error message, right? So let's say if I do like this, since we have not accomplished the complete task, let's say I just wanted to remove movie ID. I just wanted to remove the booking amount. So right now, if I send this, sorry, I just wanted to remove the comma. Okay. So now if I send this, only booking amount is mandatory. It is saying. That means
Okay, so
it is
last
not
one you're using.
even, yeah, it is not even considered. So it is actually taking some, if you see this, if you just go to this handler, it is actually taking the only one single error. But we need to display all the errors to the user. Okay. We will also see that, but this is a beginning, right? So that's the reason. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Suresh.
I have a couple of very basic questions. So first thing is like this conversion from JSON to this DTO, right? That happens by Jackson library, correct?
Yes, right.
And that happens by default from Spring Boot property.
Yes, because I will also show that to you 1 second. So if you just go to this pom.xml, so since we are using Spring Boot Starter web, right? So just click on this. And if you go inside this, yeah, so 1 second, I will just show it to you because everyone has to understand it. It's a valid question. So if I just go to Spring Web, and if I just go to the Spring Core observation, okay, this is fine. I just wanted to go back. There's a web MVC, right? So here there is something called Spring Web again. Okay. Where is this one? Okay, starter Tomcat. Sorry. There is a Spring Boot started JSON. Yes, this one. And if you go inside this, you see here, Jackson Data Binder. See, it's a part of Spring Boot Starter Web only. But internally, it has lots and lots of dependencies. Based upon this Jackson dependency only, it is actually doing our conversion. That means, so if you just go to this one, the booking API. So this response DTO is converted to a JSON request like this.
Yeah, got it. And second question was like, I have seen some people, when they define the service class method, right? So it's always good practice to have interface and then class will implement the interface, correct?
Yes, right.
Because some people have seen they won't define interface directly, they will have the class.
Yeah, so I will tell you the advantages also. So let's say right now we are using a booking repository, correct? Yeah. So this booking repository can extend as many number of interfaces, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is one advantage. And also we can extend the booking repository with another class also, correct? See,
I'm talking about the services. You have controller service, right? In the service, you have IMPL and you also have under IMPL, you have booking service IMPL and we have booking service.
Yeah, see, the basic reason to have all these kind of things, let's say, what is this error, first of all? Did I remove anything? Okay, sorry. It was reverted back. Okay, yeah. So it is always a best practice because if you identify the dependency inversion principle from solid acronym, can you do you know that, first of all? Dependency inversion principle.
What is that?
A dependency inversion principle. Do you know that?
I heard, I'm forgetting. Okay. What is that?
See. You don't have to ask that, but okay. See, there is a solid acronym. Okay, so first of all, I will I will tell you. So what is S? So S means single responsibility principle. So why we are actually defining a controller and then a service and then a repository, right? So each and every class is having its own responsibility. That means, let me tell you, first of all, if you just go to the booking API, the responsibility of this controller is only just to receive the data and process the data and send back the data. So that is the responsibility of the controller. And that is what we have done over here. We are receiving the data and we are sending the data. So that is the responsibility of the API. And we cannot do this type of, booking DTO to booking entity and booking entity to booking DTO conversion. So those conversions can be done inside the service classes. So inside service classes, we can do whatever the validations that we want. Okay. So that's the meant of service class. And if you just go to the booking repository, so booking repository is basically going to interact with the backend database tables of this booking entity itself. So each and every class is going to have a single responsibility principle. And that's the reason we are actually using this principle in our Spring Framework application also. Okay. And the next one is D, dependency inversion principle. I will tell you OLI also, but not now. So D is dependency inversion principle. That means class has to depend on abstraction, not implementation.
Oh,
got it?
Yeah, that's important. Yeah. So we need to have interface.
Yeah, but let me explain you. Okay. So there is a class. There is a class called let's say service. There's a class service. Okay. Let's say I have two different classes. Class static DB. Okay. And then dynamic DB. So let me tell you, static DB means I'm just, creating a static array list with some records. Got it? But here I have a database. Okay. Okay. So now what happens? Let's analyze now. Okay. So here, let's say I just wanted to keep static DB now. Let's say it has repository as a variable. Okay. So now let's say there are some methods inside this service. It is actually using this static DB repository, right? Now what happens? Initially, when everyone starts, they just wanted to test without DB, right? So they just wanted to create some records and they just wanted to test it. That is a static data. Here we are actually creating a list. We can add the data inside this list, or we can remove the data from the list, or we can also get the data from this list. This is a static list, right? This is not a database. This is a storage, and this is a temporary storage. Correct, Suresh?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Now, if I just have to replace this static DB in future with dynamic DB, what happens? This dependency will change. Correct?
No, say again.
I have to change this to dynamic DB, right? I don't want static DB. I just have to change this.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
Right. So now the advantages, let's say, if I just use interface repository, just interface repository, and this has some methods. Okay. So now I just wanted to implement repository. So I just wanted to keep this as repository. And I just wanted to implement repository. Okay. So let's say initially I was using repository. So right now, initially I have this static DB, correct? So initially, if you see this, this is @AutoByte only. Okay. Now, if I use repository, so since so let's say this was not there, I have the static DB. Only static DB will be injected to this, but static DB is never used, right? This is only used for testing purposes. Now, even if I remove this and if I add a new class, will it give any error?
I don't think so.
That's it. Very simple. This dynamic DB object will be injected to this repository. That's very simple. I don't have to change anything inside this class.
Because you are using interface. It's going through
Yes, that's it. That's it. Very simple.
So basically, your implemented class you're assigning to interface, and then you're calling it.
Right. So if you see here, if you see this booking service IMPL, I have used the booking repository, which is the interface. Sorry. sorry, not the booking API, right? So here, if you see the booking service, this is the interface. This is not a class. But later on, booking service IMPL has some major changes. Okay. So what we can do, we can actually, deprecate this class, or we can introduce one new class, and that new class will be injected automatically to this booking API handler for this, this one.
API.
Yeah, booking service itself. Right. So that's the advantage of using interfaces as a dependency inside a class.
So in order to automate this one, right? If you want to use this, then you have to, it has to go through interface only, right? Otherwise, it's not possible. Correct?
No. See, classes also you can use, but basically we are actually doing a loose coupling between the classes. The service, see here, the service and the repository are loosely coupled. They are not tightly coupled. If this is a class, then it is tightly coupled class. That means this class is completely dependent on another class, right? If this class is dependent on an interface, even if this changes, we don't have to change anything over here.
So auto-void here it will just create an object, right? It will set the value of
No. See, if you have
dependency.
followed my if you have followed my previous classes, what auto-void will do? Tell me.
It will inject the
object. But how it will inject the object?
It will call through what do you call the constructor injection, right?
No. See, booking service is auto-void, right? How many implementation classes are there for this booking service? Only one.
Yeah, correct.
Which is annotated with @service. So this annotation is basically used to create an object, and this object will be stored inside the Spring Bean container factory. There's the application container factory, right? So what this will do, this auto-void will check inside the bean factory that any beans are there with booking service IMPL. That means whatever the classes which are implementing this booking service, any object is there created in the bean factory. Yes, it is there because it is annotated with @service. So this object is already created in the Spring Bean factory, right? So it will get that object from the bean factory, and basically this auto-void is basically used to get the bean from the bean factory and inject that object to this booking service, because this is a interface, right? So probably it will do like this internally.
Oh, okay.
Got it? Yeah.
And values, and what value it will have? Like when you create that implemented class, it should also do the it should have some default value, right? It should have default values to that has so many fields, right? Implemented class.
No. What you are asking?
So this booking service IMPL, and it has property, right? So what will be the value of those property? Let's say
again, booking repository itself is extending CRUD repository. It will also create an object for that.
And it will have all default value, right? Because you're not setting.
What default value? See here. See, we don't have to annotate that with @repository. There is no repository bean. That means even if you give @repository, on top of this, it will create an object. Even if you don't mention it, it will create an object for this booking repository. And that value will be there inside this booking service IMPL also for this particular thing, because we have auto-void it.
Okay, got it.
That's it. Yeah, if there is no... See, I'll just tell you what will happen. Okay, so let's remove this one.
Okay. No, usually in our traditional
No, 1 second.
Yeah.
No, just remove this one and let's start the application now. Okay. Now see, object will still be created because booking service IMPL is still annotated with @service. Object will be created, but it will not be injected from the container factory to this instance. So let's see that in action. So that means you are not practicing that, Suresh.
Actually, I missed a couple of classes in the beginning due to time zone difference. So maybe I have to practice here.
But you need to practice, right? So
yeah.
Okay, so let's see now. Let's see now. So all the data is valid. Now see. So see here. Cannot invoke create booking. That means this dot booking service is null. There is no object. That means we have the object inside the application context factory, but we have not auto-wide it. That means we have not injected that object to this booking service. That's it. Very simple.
Yeah, got it. You have
That's
to
the
inject
total idea.
it to get the
Yeah.
value.
And again, if you just see this one, booking repository, right? If I just remove this, object will be created for booking repository, but we are not injecting it. Okay. So let's see this also in action. So you can do these tryings and testings from your side a lot, because every time repeating all this kind of things will be duplicate. Okay. So do a lot of practice from your side, because these things are already in the actual, while beginning the actual sessions after the demo, I have repeated this so many times. So you have to keep in mind, Suresh. Okay. But practice a lot. Practice makes perfect. Okay. So it started, and again, I just wanted to send the request. And now if you can see, the service class has been created object, but here this dot booking repository is null. Got it. The object is there, but we have not injected it. So for injection, we actually use auto-wide. Okay.
And one last question was like, you have used some not null and a couple of positive annotations and all in video.
Right. Exactly.
So, and you also define some custom exception, right? So the when you use get message, right? So how it takes the value from there and print it here?
I have actually shown that to you right now. If you just go to the API handler, this exception is going to have a lot of methods. See, it has the get detail message arguments, and there is something called get errors, right?
How it collects from the DTO properties file? Get something like fault.
See, whatever the annotations that we have used over here, these annotations are basically belonging to the method argument not valid exception. If this ID is not there, of movie ID is not there, it will throw method argument not valid exception for all these annotations. Okay.
Oh, that's not a custom exception, right? Method argument.
That is not a custom exception. That is a exception which is already present. So if you see here, there is @exception handler, method argument not valid exception. If it finds that this exception is raised when we actually hit this controller, then probably this controller will execute this method, obviously. And here we call this annotations as binding errors. We call this as binding errors. So if something happens over there, so there's something called a method argument not valid exception as a parameter. So inside this, there is something called get binding result dot get all errors. And here I'm getting the default message, and I'm setting that back to the place, and I'm getting this one. Okay. So if I just remove this, and if I just send this request, what happened? Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So here booking amount is mandatory. So that is how it is actually collecting that, because whatever the message that we have used over here. So this message, this.
So it will look for the corresponding annotation and collect the
message. Collect the message, and that message will be captured inside this booking API handler, inside the method argument not. So method argument not valid exception is especially designed for these annotations, which are from Jakarta validation constants package.
Yeah, I think this is very useful. I've seen I've not seen people using this one, I think.
Yeah. So this is pre-valid, because the problem is, if you just go to this booking API, so why we need to send invalid data, and why we need to execute this controller? First of all, we need to do a pre-validation. So what for doing pre-validation, then probably we can use this Jakarta.validation.constant annotations, and we can give the custom messages over there, and those messages will be responsible to copy that messages directly inside the method argument not valid exception handler itself directly over here.
Yeah, so we don't have to write unit tests for each of these fields. the way
Right.
we
That is the pre-validation that we are going to do. But here, when we are actually writing unit tests also, this method will actually work. This method will actually execute. Got it? When we are writing unit tests, we don't mock the complete thing. When we are writing integration test, it's an end-to-end test, right? It has to contact this methods also in order to see the response, whether the test cases are correct or not. We need to do all that kind of testings, right? So we
Yeah,
need to execute this method at any
for
cost.
integration testing, you don't have to write separate unit test for each of the field. Rather, it will correct from there. Correct?
Yes, right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, perfectly makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Murli sir. Tell me, sir, it is already 10:20. I need to take the online trainings in my company. Tell me.
Sorry, sir. I'll simplify it. Can you please tell me at the rate JSON include what is it?
Okay, see, probably if you just go to the response ratio, see, imagine there are only 2 fields right now, but we will be having a very big data, okay, as a response ratio. So let's say if there is an error message or error code, see, right now we are sending error message. Probably we need to send status code and all these kind of things, but later on we will see that. But if I send an error message and the booking detail, anyhow, booking details will not come if there is an error message. Why I need to show this, first of all, along with the error message and booking detail as null?
Yeah.
Right? So here what I'm just doing, I don't have to display this DTO if this is not having a valid value. So I'm just using JSON include only those properties which are actually having some values. Got it?
Right. Even though when you're using builder, if it doesn't use either JSON, it just shows null.
No, man. See, one second.
No.
So let's say, let's say, listen. Okay. So if you have, this is a valid data, right?
Yes, sir.
With the booking amount, this is a valid data.
Yes.
Correct or not? This is a valid data.
Yeah.
Now, if this is a valid data, this will have the, so this will have the value, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But this will have any value?
No, sir.
No, right? Then why we need to show that in the response?
Right.
Okay. Let's say if you just go to the handler, we are actually setting the error message because API handler is basically used for handling the exceptions, right? That means this is an error scenario. So I need to show only the error message. Booking DTO will never come to picture, right? So I don't have to include this if this object is not being set. If you just go to the handler, the DTO is never set over here. Got it?
Yes.
So that's the reason. Only if the properties are non-null, then only show that data. Otherwise, why we need to show this or this, right?
Right.
That's very simple. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
Thank you so much.
Sir,
yeah.
Sorry. Can I? At the rate validated and at the rate valid is So why do we need to include that? So already we are giving annotations at the rate non-null, at the rate non-blank, everything. So why do we need to again valid? Say
no,
that.
See. Okay. So if you just go to this booking API, if you are not using at the rate valid, okay, if you are not using at the rate not valid, then probably at the rate not null, at the rate not empty, all these annotations will not be recognized. Okay. So this has to be there. And if I say at the rate valid, it will basically search for at the rate validated classes along with at the rate not null, at the rate not blank, and all these kind of things. That is a mandatory kind of things. Okay.
Nice.
That's the total idea.
Yeah.
If you don't keep at the rate valid, okay, and if you just hit the controller, it will just hit the controller. It will never go to the exception handler if the data is invalid. We need to validate this DTO, right? So that's the reason we do have at the rate valid. That's it. Very simple.
Nice.
Okay. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, then. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And we'll meet you. I will meet you tomorrow. So probably I will commit the code tomorrow. not today. Today you can just, just refresh your knowledge on the user registration service or the system which is already completed from my side. Okay, you can just take a look. Those validations are already present over there. Okay. Thank you and have a great day. I will meet you tomorrow. Bye.